Call Hammer Restoration, a family-owned business serving your friends and neighbors in the Great Lakes Bay region for over 50 years.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
WSGW News Time 9:08. The weather forecast is next. A judge has dismissed part of a lawsuit filed by 8 women alleging sexual harassment and assault by a former U of M lecturer. Judge Thomas Cameron of the Michigan Court of Claims ruled Friday the plaintiffs failed to file timely notices of intent to sue U of M, its Board of Regents, and Bruce Conforth as required by law. The Detroit News reports attorney Daniel Barnett, whose firm represents the women, said the decision only dismisses the case against the university and its regents. He says a portion of the lawsuit filed in Washtenaw County Circuit Court remains. It's not only another Monday filled with the rush to get to school or work, but it is Halloween. Here is the Michigan News Network's Brooke Allen with this report.
And that could be exhausting come Tuesday. Frankie Baghdad is the therapist and owner of Fab Consulting who says parents can be tired and exhausted, but it's always good to admit it.
I'm really tired and I apologize because I want my kids to grow up as adults who learn to own it when they make a mistake, learn from it and apologize, showing them in real time that we're all going to make mistakes when we're exhausted, and through them we apologize, we own it and try to do better. That's okay.
Baghdad recently wrote a book called I Love My Kids, But I Don't Always Like Them. That is available anywhere books are sold. I'm Brooke Allen for the Michigan News Network.
A former Grand Rapids police officer will find out this morning if he'll stand trial for second-degree murder in the shooting death of a driver in April. Patrick Loyola struggled with Officer Christopher Schur before he was shot in the back of the head. Schur's attorney argued during the preliminary hearing last week the prosecutor didn't prove a trial is necessary. The prosecution has made the decision to charge Schur and told the judge it should be up to a jury to decide whether Schur used a reasonable, not the courts. WSGW News Time 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Cloudy skies today with isolated rain showers, high of 59 degrees. Chance for rain showers tonight with a low around 49 degrees. Clearing skies on Tuesday with a high of 64. Mostly clear skies on Tuesday night with a low around 41 degrees. Mostly sunny on Wednesday with a high of 67 degrees. Clear skies on Wednesday night with a low around 47. Partly cloudy skies on Thursday with a high of 70 degrees. Partly cloudy skies Thursday night with a low of 55 degrees. For scattered rain showers on Friday with a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Angie Holliday with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now it's 48 degrees.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And good morning to you. Welcome to a brand new week here in October. As a matter of fact, the last day of October, and then we start November already. Wow. Anyway, it is Halloween. Happy Halloween to you. We'll have open phones this hour. 989-752-6111 is the number to call. And we will talk to Colleen Linehan during the next hour. She was a rather noted female hockey player in this area. Went on to play in college and became a doctor. We'll talk to her about that. But she is involved in something called the Mid-Michigan Alliance of Girls Hockey. We'll find out about that at 10 o'clock this morning. And at 11 o'clock on Focus, we'll focus on McIntosh and Associates, financial planning, with Mindy McIntosh. That's what's coming up this morning. But as I said, open lines for this hour. I just wanted to mention something I mentioned during the morning show, but Saturday night we were at the Dow, the theater at the Dow, for Jerry Seinfeld. Seinfeld, after a 2-year hiatus because of COVID, is back on the stand-up travel trail, so to speak. And he started the show by mentioning the fact that originally they were scheduled to be here in May of 2020, got canceled and rescheduled for now, and how glad he was to be here. And it was a fantastic evening, sold out crowd. He is a funny, funny man. One of the best comedy shows. I have two absolute favorites that I enjoy, Seinfeld being one of them and Jeff Dunham being the other. And we've seen both of them now in Saginaw. And I would see him again in a heartbeat. It was really quite an evening. Lots of fun. And it was a busy place downtown on Saturday because hockey game was going on also, and other activities. So it was fun to see downtown absolutely jammed. Absolutely jammed. Halloween tonight. To all the parents out there, just be careful where you take your youngsters trick-or-treating and how they walk the streets. If you don't want to do that, then look for some of the trunk and treat type things that are going on. There may be some of them tonight. And make it a safe Halloween. All right. So on to some of the news out there, which is not quite as uplifting, if you will. Couple of stories from San Francisco and the attack on Paul Pelosi. I just wanted to make some comments about it. It is my absolute view, and always been my absolute view, that not only is there no room for violence in politics, there shouldn't be room for violence in any discussion, argument. It just serves no purpose. It doesn't make you right because you're violent. In the same way that it doesn't make you right when you shout your opinion against someone. Being loud or being violent is not a sign of being right. And in this case, this gentleman that attacked Mr. Pelosi apparently has a history of problems. And what purpose did he serve? None. Other than to do exactly the opposite of what he wanted, probably, and created a lot of sympathy for the Pelosis, as should be the case. I wish Mr. Pelosi nothing but the best, a healthy recovery to full recovery. He's in his young 80s. He's 82 years old and did not deserve this. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care whether you like him or don't like him. There is no room for violence from either side, on either argument. It doesn't matter what it is. It should not happen. It diminishes our democracy, in my opinion. Now, I don't know what's going to happen to this guy. He's facing a lot of charges. Who knows whether there'll be an insanity plea or something like that. I don't know. All I know is he probably shouldn't see the light of day for a long, long time. So to Speaker Pelosi and her husband, only our best wishes for a complete and full recovery. You don't have to like her politics to be a caring human being. And that works both ways, all sides. Republicans, Democrats, doesn't make any difference. Politics should be a point of discussion, not a point of violence. It is not how the founding fathers envisioned this country, and it is not the way this country should operate. Unfortunately, in this day and age, it is becoming more and more prevalent. Somehow, we need to stem that tide. Somehow, we need to change that attitude. Tone down the rhetoric? Maybe. How do you do that? Particularly with social media. It's very difficult. We're in a different age. When I grew up many years ago, in the 50s or what have you, news wasn't transmitted as quickly as it is today. And then there was very little of what we would call false news. And you knew what the opinions were as opposed to news, because if you went to the newspaper, you read the stories. If you wanted the opinion, you went to the editorial page. It was well defined. Broadcast facilities, including this one, WSGW, used to have editorial comments from station management, and it was labeled. This editorial comment from the desk of so-and-so and such and such. You knew when you were getting opinion as opposed to news. That line has been blurred substantially. And I think for two reasons. One of them, the 24-hour news cycle with the creation of CNN and then Fox News and MSNBC and all the rest of them. They now had to fill 24 hours, and they couldn't do it strictly with news. Otherwise, they'd be repeating, doing nothing but repeating every 15 minutes. So they created these talking head programs, and the networks, the various networks began to be more positionable as opposed to purely journalistic. And then came social media. Social media's discourse, it's anybody's game. They can say anything they want. There's no proof or fact. You don't have to be a journalist to claim to be one on social media. And it's the Wild West. It's a big change from when I grew up to now. Huge change. And at the same time, I sit here, I'm part of it, because when I grew up, there were very few talk shows. And most of them were soupy, what I would call soupy, because the fairness doctrine was in place and you couldn't talk about controversial subjects. You could, but then you had to go out and find everybody with a dissenting opinion and give them equal time. So nobody did that. Nobody talked about the controversial issues of the day. It wasn't until the mid-'80s, when the fairness doctrine was not codified by Congress, that it went away. And in 1987, 88, things began to loosen up in the talk radio world. We could talk about controversial topics. And the balance was, you can call in and discuss it with me and agree or disagree. But it is different today. It's quite different than it was many, many years ago. Some ways for the better, in other ways, I'm not so sure about that. All right, let's talk to Errol before we take our first break here. Errol, good morning. Errol, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Good. Good morning.
Apparently that lesson didn't rub off in the tunnel at Michigan.
Yeah, I got that one to talk about too. You're right.
You know, I don't know what the hell brought that on, but you think you're dealing with a couple of second graders. I don't know what brought it on. I don't care. But I thought we were beyond that in college. I don't recall that happening before in a football game, and I don't watch many of them, but that got my attention.
Yeah, I was glad to see that he suspended 4 players right away.
Yes.
for their actions. The question is what happens from here on out. I don't know. There'll be a number of investigations. And
I want to see what happens.
So, yep, not a pretty sight, that's for sure. And,
No,
of course, this day and age, there's cameras everywhere. So, of course, they caught it on camera.
Yeah, they did. They did. The other thing that bothered me is how does a little wee kid get a hold of a non-locked up gun and shoot himself in the head in this day and age?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Nuts,
that's the responsibility of the gun owner who left it unsecured.
You think?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
you got it.
True. Well, he thought he had a 3 years old or whatever the age of this kid was.
It doesn't matter.
You cannot educate stupidity.
No, and you can't leave loaded guns laying around in the house either.
You're right.
All right.
Talk to you later. Right?
Talk to you later, Earl. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Lines open for you, 989-752-6111 on this open line hour.
You have a family doctor. Do you have a family plumber? When you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling problem happening, you need to be able to call a professional that you can rely on and trust to make the repair or equipment replacement. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been the professional homeowners and businesses trust for 65 years. Whether you're looking for an emergency water heater replacement or planning a new heating system installation, you can trust Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to provide quality service and installation. Reamer has the equipment to fit every budget, experienced estimators, and state licensed technicians to install. Trust a professional to do the job right. Call Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Visit them on the web at reamerplumbing.com.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
Kim Coonan's taking a page out of Biden's playbook. What's Coonan's game plan? Tax and spend as much as possible. As County Commissioner, Kim Coonan raised taxes on struggling families and increased spending by more than 300%. Coonan even supported a $2 trillion increase in government spending. And now, with prices increasing and inflation skyrocketing on Michigan families, the last thing we need in the State House is Kim Coonan continuing to call an all-out blitz on our pocketbooks. Michigan can't afford tax and spend radical Kim Coonan. But Timmy Beeson believes we deserve to keep our hard-earned cash. That's why Beeson is working to lower costs, control inflation that's strangling our economy by reducing auto insurance costs and cutting taxes for struggling families so Michiganders can keep more of what they earn. Timmy Beeson for State Representative.
Paid for with regulated funds by House Republican Campaign Committee authorized by Timmy Beeson.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Technology shares are slumping after disappointing earnings reports last week, though the Dow Jones Industrials could wrap up today with the strongest October on record. ExxonMobil and Chevron together brought in more than $30 billion. ExxonMobil shares stand at a record this morning. Chevron traded in record territory Friday before paring gains. Both companies were helped by a surge in natural gas prices and record refining volumes. Investment firm Blackstone is buying a majority stake in Emerson Electric's climate technologies business. It sells compressors and other devices used in heating and cooling. And the Federal Reserve is expected to approve another interest rate increase of 0.75 percentage point this week. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Starting to realize your small business is a little overwhelmed by the holiday rush? It's still not too late to get all of your shipping and mailing under control with Stamps.com. Sign up right now, and you'll be printing your own postage in just minutes with discounted USPS and UPS shipping rates. Just go to Stamps.com. Click the mic at the top of the page and use code BUSINESS for a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a digital scale. That's Stamps.com, code BUSINESS.
Attention all business or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building, fast and easy. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore America's last frontier, Alaska, from August 30th to September 10th, 2020. Fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for the start. At the Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the Inside Passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. For a brochure, send your address, forward the brochure to you. Send to artlewis@wsgw.com. That's ARTLEWIS at WSGW.com. Alaska is calling.
On the next Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show, I guess we'll try to make sense of it all. That is a very, very difficult job. We will have fun.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSG.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, and we'll get back to our phones. Chuck is in Bay City. Chuck, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
A couple of comments from some guests you had on last, I think it was Thursday. I was unable to get through because of time restraints on your program. But anyhow, just a couple of comments. One was you were talking to a gentleman, the Saginaw Bay and the fisheries and all that sort of stuff. You get them on periodically. And he mentioned, you know, the issues with the bay, but one of the things he mentioned with the perch fishery, and he mentioned the commercial fishery. People don't realize that the number of licenses, active licenses on the bay, is only total 6. In the entire Saginaw Bay, there's 6 active licenses that people, commercial fisheries, go out. There used to be at one time. There actually is 20, but most of them aren't active for various reasons. And one fishery owns 7 licenses. He bought them up over the course of time in order to, I guess, eliminate some of the competition or whatever. But anyhow, if we don't have those commercial fisheries, a lot of that fish, well, a big share of that fish goes to local restaurants, local. Going to have the fish, the perch, unless we buy from the local. In fact, you can go to these local fisheries and even buy the perch. If we don't have them around, we're going to end up getting our fish from Canada, which we do already.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we need some commercial fishing.
Well, then the question is, and also, although I don't think it was perch, but I remember that the Native Americans were involved in this too. But
right.
At the bottom line is, it's not a question of how many licenses. It's a question of how much does each license take, and how does that impact the sport fishing market. But I understand what you're saying, and I do agree with you, because where else are we going to, you know, let's face it, the bay perch are the best. They're delicious. And anytime a restaurant has the bay perch, that's what you want.
Absolutely. And I know I fish. I mean, I fish the bay, and I know a lot of people that do. And, you know, they go out there, they can get a limit of perch, 25 perch. In many days they can do that. The fishery, I think, is decent. I think, if not good, very good. Is it like it was umpteen years ago? No, it wasn't. But it's still a good fishery, and I just hope that the commercial fishery.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the proof of the proof of the decline, if you will, is the fact that the limit used to be 100, and then it went to 50. Now it's 25. So there obviously is a concern about the perch population. But I listen. It's a big bay, and I think there's probably enough fish to satisfy the needs of all. And I don't want to see commercial fishing go away because it's important to all of us. By the same token, I don't want to see it have such an impact on sport fishing that it kills it.
Well, and recreational fishermen and women, and we've gone along with regulations dropping down to 25, and nobody's complaining.
Nope.
I know of.
Yeah, well, as long as it stays a healthy fishery and you can get your 25 and the commercial fishermen can get what they need, that's fine.
Yep.
That works.
The other quick comment I had was I caught the tail end of a conversation that same day with, I think he was a physician talking about COVID and masking. And did I hear him say that, or not masking, but getting the shots, the vaccine? Did I hear him say that we should get the vaccine to prevent getting COVID?
I don't know. I don't remember what his words were. He mentioned it. He might have, but let's be honest about it. I think the vaccine. First of all, I'm coming from a position of a believer in vaccines, and I'm fully vaccinated. I've had the second booster and all that good stuff. But I don't expect it. I don't expect it to totally protect me. I expect it to mitigate it if I get it. But I don't believe it's going to stop it if I come in contact with it.
It doesn't. But what it does is it eliminates the severity of it.
Right. It mitigates it. It mitigates it. That's that's always been my understanding of it. But listen, that's become a very controversial topic from those that are absolute believers to those that are totally non-believers, and many on both sides speak without knowledge. They either hear it someplace else or create it. But listen, I've said this so many times in my life. When I get sick, I don't go to a talk show host for information, and I don't go to a politician for information. I go to a doctor. That's who I choose to go to when I get sick. And I pay them for their advice. I'm the stupid one if I don't follow that advice. And so I tend to listen to doctors. And I know many of them.
Vaccines are good, but I know a lot of people that have been vaccinated personally and have gotten COVID after that, and it doesn't prevent it. It just lessens the severity. Right. And most of these people maybe they felt like they had a bad cold or something.
And that's what I understand too.
Yeah.
But that's a good enough, for me, that's a good enough reason to get the vaccine. So
you bet it is.
All right. Yep. Good enough.
Thanks, Art.
Hey, Chuck, thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Bye-bye now.
You're welcome.
Lines open for you. Again, this is an open line hour. Whatever you'd like to chat about, we cover a wide variety of topics, and we'd love to hear what's on your mind.
Kristen McDonald Rivet's allies were caught red-handed lying about Annette Glenn. The facts? A Michigan news outlet reported, quote, a TV station took the rare move of removing an ad attacking Miss Glenn because the ad was proven to be false. The truth? Big spending politicians created record inflation and cratered our economy. Michigan families pay the price. Radical Kristen McDonald Rivet supports the Biden-Pelosi $1 trillion spending bill that would crush Michigan families, making inflation so much worse. And she voted to give herself a raise while voting to raise taxes on us. Soaring inflation, rampant spending, a destroyed economy. They spend, you pay. The Biden-Pelosi Rivet way. Kristen McDonald Rivet, radical and wrong for Michigan. Paid for with regulated funds by the Senate Republican Campaign Committee. Authorized by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
But I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel. Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
They're learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or video. Live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
It's a new day because COVID vaccines just got a big update. So all the big stuff coming up this fall, well, now you can say, you bet I'll be there. Because updated COVID vaccines protect against both the original COVID virus and Omicron. Older can get one. So this is a moment we've all been waiting for.
Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
If you're in a room with 4 other people, chances are one of you has already been an identity theft victim. 1 in 5. Watching your accounts and credit isn't enough. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, LifeLock will work to fix it. Nobody can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% on their first year with promo code BECK at lifelock.com. Promo code BECK, your first year.
Did you know there's a conservative advocacy and benefits organization with over 2 million members and counting? It's Association of Mature American Citizens. Here are 3 reasons why you should consider joining AMAC right now. First, AMAC saves you money. From discounts on travel and lodging, cell phones and plans, access to insurance products, and more. Joining AMAC is a powerful tool against inflation. Second, with a bi-monthly magazine, daily website content, podcasts with America's thought leaders, and an app that delivers insightful coverage of the issues that matter most, AMAC is a trusted source of information. And third, the reason that people say is their favorite, AMAC fights for your conservative values on Capitol Hill. With more than 2 million members, AMAC is a voice that cannot be ignored, working tirelessly to preserve the freedom secured by our Constitution. Go to amac.us/liberty and join today. That's amac.us/liberty. amac.us/liberty.
The WSGW Morning Team. WSW online poll for statewide ballot proposal 2, with the election day again being November 8th. This is a statewide proposal focused on voting. Among the listings on your ballot, you will see that include recognizing fundamental rights to vote without harassing conduct, to require ballots to be counted if postmarked by Election Day, to provide voter rights to verify identity with photo ID or signed statements, require 9 days of early in-person voting, require canvass boards to certify election results based only on the official records of votes cast, and there are a couple of more too. But the proposal itself reads this way: a proposal to amend the state constitution to add provisions regarding elections, which may seem kind of vague. It almost seems
Needs a
like,
little bit more explanation.
yeah. Anyway, but we present it because this is the way you're going to face it on your ballot. So the poll question: should proposal 2 be adopted? Yes or no? You head to WSW.com. You can scroll down the homepage. You'll find the poll box, and you can make your vote that way.
The Morning Team, weekdays 9 on WSGW. From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we return on the Art Lewis Show, an open line hour, and that allows us to go to Sheridan, where we talk to Carol this morning. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning. I don't know quite how to start this. There are people that say about 3-year-olds going to school. These 3-year-olds that go to school are very, very disadvantaged. Many of them are not potty broke. They have never held a crayon. They have never held shears. They have no respect for anybody. Some of them are, they don't care about hitting, kicking, biting, who it is.
All right, Carol.
How they act.
All right, hang on a minute. You may be talking about some. I don't think you're talking about most.
No, oh, no. Most of them, and a lot of the 3-year-olds that are able to go to Head Start and things are not act like that. But these children are at such a disadvantage.
Well,
Not that
maybe
they can get them.
maybe they need
but
something like
they
Head
can
Start.
help them.
Maybe they need something like
Pardon?
that. Maybe they need something
Well,
like that.
definitely. Oh, definitely they do, and it does help some of them. I mean, some of them, even a 3-year-old said to say it's so bad that but it does help. But unless people walk a mile in other people's moccasins, they do not realize what goes on in some of these homes and some of these families. And when they just criticize and they do not know, if they would spend their time at Big Brothers and Big Sisters or at the Y, or maybe adopt some of these children that are born to addicted parents, some of these kids actually jump up on the wall and rip down posters. And then there was a little boy that was so bad, and he had 3 triplet sisters that the second they walk in, they scream, they yell, they're out of their gourd. A lot of them are born to people that are addicted to drugs. And but unless people walk a mile in their moccasins, they don't realize what a problem these children are.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever walked that mile?
Well, pretty much. Very, very much understand the deep problems of these children. And if they've got all the time to listen to all this news and spend all the weekend playing with the TV, maybe if they volunteered and helped out, they would understand more some of the things that are going on. And they're going to be unadoptable. I mean, there's just no way somebody is going to have to adopt some of these children that are addicted to that folks are addicted to some of these things. But just some people just do not realize what how bad things are in places. So I would put my 2 cents worth in this morning.
All right, good enough. Thanks, Carol.
Well, there's a lot of good kids too, and there's
Oh
a lot
yeah,
of parents that are
that's
very
my
good.
point.
Well, no, I didn't say that all were, but people do not realize why some of these young children and things that they can get them in a program when they're that young and go to school, that it may help that child, because that's what people want to do, is to help these children.
Yep.
And it would be an awful way to grow up and be like that too. It's not good for anybody to have, such problems as we've got in some of these places. So I just thought I'd put my 2 cents worth in this morning.
All right, Carol, appreciate
We've only
it.
got a week to go, and then we don't have to hear any more of these ads.
Give me an amen. You bet.
Because the dishes, if you watch like the cooking shows and some of these, they don't have those ads on some of those stations, and it's a relief.
Yeah, I know.
You watch them too.
Yes,
right?
we do. We do.
I love Maine Cabin Masters. I just love that show.
Yeah.
It reminds you of the Upper Peninsula.
There you go.
Whatever, it helps.
All
Thank
right.
you guys.
Good enough.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye-bye now. All right. Lines open 989-752-6111. That is the number to call.
If you're in a room with 4 other people, chances are one of you has already been an identity theft victim. 1 in 5. Watching your accounts and credit isn't enough. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, LifeLock will work to fix it. Nobody can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% on their first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. Promo code BECK, save 25% off your first year.
My name is Kim Coonan. I'm a lifelong Bay County resident, and I'm running for the 96th District House seat in Lansing. I'm a proud co-founder, which has restored our beach at Bay City State Park, and it has provided recreation and economic opportunities for the people of Bay County. As a county commissioner for over 20 years, I've been a good steward of your tax dollars. I know the value of hard work and promise to work hard for you.
Paid for by the committee to elect Kim Coonan state representative.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. Dot-com crash, housing crash, roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep. We have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
You have the chance to win a $1,000 gift certificate playing the WSGW Holiday Home Makeover Contest. You enter the contest online at WSGW.com. When you enter, you choose one of the participating businesses where you would use your $1,000 gift certificate if you're drawn as the random winner. Businesses to choose include Bay Landscaping, Crane's L&M Appliance Center, Designer's Touch Decorating in Freeland, Hartel Heating and Cooling, Begic Nursery and Garden Center, Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery, Wolfilds Ace Hardware, Cluck Nursery, M&R Garage Doors and Openers, A Plus Plumbing, Midland Sand, West Side Decorating Center, Maple Hill Nursery, Roof Max, Reamer Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, Delta Door Sales, Jolt Credit Union, Morse Clark Furniture. You can and get bonus entries too. Look for the Holiday Home Makeover Contest box in the upper right-hand corner when you enter online, WSGW.com.
Inside handoff to Corum. Can he turn the corner? He can! Diving for the end zone! Touchdown, Michigan!
The Michigan Wolverines head east to face the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Live Saturday night at 6:30 on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Lines open for you on this open line hour on this final day of October, Halloween 2022. And probably we'll have more trick-or-treaters this year than last. I would imagine there'll be a lot more out. But there are also a lot more trunk-or-treat events that have been going on for the past week, where youngsters go to a particular area with their parents, and they don't have to go neighborhood to neighborhood, door to door. It's all right there in one place. It is 8 days away, roughly, till the election. And, of course, there are polls. There are always polls. The latest one, a CBS News Battleground Tracker poll, says Republicans head into the final week with a lead in seats in terms of the House. Voters feel things are out of control. And that same poll, I think, showed the Senate still anybody's game, because there are a number of very, very close races for the Senate. Republicans would only have to pick up one seat in the Senate to shift the power balance. And in the House, the magic number is 218. And there are a number of issues that people are concerned about. In this poll, which is a bigger concern was a question. A functioning democracy or a strong economy? Those voting Democratic said a functioning democracy at 63%, a strong economy at 21%. Almost just the opposite. Voting Republican, 29% of functioning democracy, 70% say that a strong economy is important. As you look at the questions throughout this survey, you can see the difference clearly between the two parties. Private citizens challenge officials as they count votes. Do you favor that or oppose that? Democrats 31% favor, 69% oppose. Republicans 47% favor, independents 47% favor, 53% oppose. Republicans 73% favor it, 27% oppose it. Private citizens patrol polling places and ballot boxes. Again, just the opposite. Dems favor 29%, oppose 71%. Republicans 67% favor, 33% oppose. The question, if they win, Democrats will try to 84% pass a national right to abortion law, 59% open the U.S.-Mexico border, 53% cut police funding, 51% increase Social Security benefits. If they win, Republicans will try to increase U.S. energy production, impeach Joe Biden, 63%, pass a national abortion ban, 56%, overturn Democratic wins in elections, 56%. Which party makes you feel safer? 46% say Republicans, 30% say Democrats, 24% both equally or neither. Whose interests do they put first? Democratic Party, current U.S. citizens, 15%. Recent immigrants, 45%, both equally or neither, 40%. For Republicans, whose interests do they put first? Current U.S. citizens, 64%. Recent immigrants, 7%, both equally neither, 29%. And if candidate denies Biden won in 2020, the election deniers, would you be more likely to vote for them? All voters, 25%. Republican voters, 40%. Less likely, all voters, 46%. Republicans, 11%. Wouldn't matter much, 29%. All voters, 49%. Republicans. So those are just some of the respondents' questions and answers and what they're thinking as they head to the polls next Tuesday. Many have already headed to the polls because we've had this early election thing going on. Some places they've already been voting for several days. All right, we'll be back to close out right after these notes.
I'm Jacob Hilliker, Bay County Road Commissioner. I believe we deserve more local road funding for the amount of taxes we pay downstate. We all know working people in Bay County have always had to shout a little louder to be heard in Lansing. That's why I'm here. I'm a proud union member, business owner, and I operate a small farm. I don't have time for the national partisan nonsense of the week. I'm here to do a job. Vote Hilliker. Paid for by Jacob Hilliker for Bay County.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Kokomos. You are going to get a family fun package. The package includes a game card with $62.50 in credits, 2 single topping pizzas, and 2 pops, plus 5 attractions. If you're looking for something fun to do with the family, Kokomos is your one-stop shop. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50 warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building, fast and easy. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
The WSGW Morning Team.
We're officially Denise into the newsroom in the morning team. Denise Shannon did have one person question the spelling of Denise. DenYse. Most people I would say probably would say ISE.
I have had people say, you spell your name wrong. My parents picked my name, and my mom went to have me baptized. The priest wouldn't baptize me unless she changed the spelling of my name, because evidently there's a saint named Saint Dennis. And I found out since then that it doesn't make any difference whether it's an I or a Y, but this guy was just adamant about the fact that she needed to change my It was changed from an I to a Y.
Well, thank you for listening.
Like that.
Yeah.
A couple of times I've heard people just say, why do you spell your name wrong? Because I can.
Art Lewis is called in.
I wanted to welcome Denise to the family.
The Morning Team. Weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for the first hour. Coming up next hour, we're going to talk to Dr. Colleen Linehan. Not about being a doctor, though. She was a great high school and college athlete. She played girls hockey. And there is a new Mid-Michigan alliance that has to do with girls hockey. We're going to talk to her about that. But before that happens, it's news time. CBS News and the local report, and then we will be back right after that.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The most diverse Supreme Court in history is expected to begin hearing arguments right now in 2 cases challenging race consciousness in college admissions. They involve Harvard and UNC. Correspondent Jan Crawford reports.
The court has scaled back affirmative action over the years, outlawing quotas and numerical goals, but it has allowed a limited consideration of race to promote diversity.
No more silence!
But the newly conservative court could now decide that any consideration of race at all is illegal discrimination, whether to private like Harvard or public one like UNC, where minority enrollment is already low.
The suspect in the hammer attack on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's 82-year-old husband is expected to be formally charged today. KPIX TV's Amanda Starantino is in San Francisco.
42-year-old David DePop will face several felonies, including attempted murder, burglary, and elder abuse. Law enforcement has confirmed he had a list of people he wanted to target and was carrying zip ties with him when he broke into the Pelosi home.
Police in India say 9 people have been arrested in a pedestrian bridge collapse that plunged dozens of people into a river below. 130 were killed, many of them women and children. The 143-year-old span had just reopened after months of repairs. Officials say it was overloaded with people celebrating the Hindu festival of Diwali. Still no word on what triggered a massive surge in Seoul, South Korea. that killed more than 150. Correspondent Elizabeth Palmer is at the foreign desk.
Koreans today were paying their respects and still trying to absorb the scale of this tragedy. Most of the victims were in their 20s, including 2 American students, Ann Gieske from the University of Kentucky and Stephen Blessey from Georgia's Kennesaw State.
Just 4 days after taking over Twitter, Elon Musk is making changes. CBS's Monica Ricks.
Now, even if users are logged out, they can still see trending tweets and news stories. Musk never explained why he made this change, but insiders say something like this normally would have taken weeks to implement.
The Washington Post reports Musk's inner circle worked through the weekend to firm up massive light. Baseball fans will be tuned in for Game 3 of the World Series in Philadelphia tonight. Noah Syndergaard will be on the mound for Philly. Lance McCullers, injured in last year's series against Atlanta, pitches for the Astros. Manager Dusty Baker.
We still had good pitching, but, Lance has been our big game guy. So I'm just glad to have him back and have him for the series.
The series tied at 1 game apiece. Dow down 230. This is CBS News.
Make the hiring process work for you. With Indeed's end-to-end hiring solution, you can attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit. Enjoy the best of yacht rock for the holidays.
So ladies,
The Little River Band.
let me take a look at you now.
Same show, same night. Ambrosia.
How much I feel.
Saturday, December 17th at Casino and Resort. Tickets start at $32. On sale now at the box office or eatix.com. Party and play with Little River Band and Ambrosia.
You're the biggest part of me.
Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 800-730-8405 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check. As easy as, that's 800-730-8405.
Attention business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building, fast and easy. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Mostly cloudy skies and 49 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Perchup. Quick traffic note to pass along to you at this hour. A northbound and 2 southbound lanes of a west side M84 near 3 Mile in Bay County are closed due to an accident. Again, that is one northbound and 2 southbound lanes of west side M84 near 3 Mile Road closed due to an accident. Please find an alternate route if possible. Police in Bridgeport Township are investigating a possible accidental shooting involving a 7-year-old boy. Police responded to the Bavarian Village Apartments at 2826 Williamson around 12:20 this morning. They discovered the boy had suffered a gunshot wound to the head. The investigation suggests the wound was self-inflicted with an unsecured firearm. The boy was first taken to Covenant Healthcare in Saginaw, then later transported to the University of Michigan Children's Hospital, where he is listed in critical condition. The investigation is ongoing. Election Day may be a couple of weeks away, but voting of another kind has begun in Midland. Residents have the opportunity to vote on the top names for snowplows this winter. More than 300 names were submitted, and now that city staff have whittled the list down to the top 20, the community can vote on the 6 best names to be assigned to members of the city's snow removal fleet for the season. Some of the finalists' names include Grace A. Plow, Snowreen Donker, Scoop Dog, Glacier Eraser, Sled Zeppelin, and others. Voting is open at cityofmidlandmi.gov/nametheplow and continues until November 4th at 5 p.m. WSGW News Time 10:07.
This is Rachel from the SVRC Marketplace. Fall in love with over 30 small businesses ready to serve you. Global flavors from Saigon Sandwich, American favorites from Big O Burger and Barbecue, retail therapy with Ahana Clothing, and can't forget sweet treats from Iron Dragon Pastries coming soon. Located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront Saginaw. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we hope to see you at the market. This is Rachel from the boardroom, located at 203 South Washington, inside the SVRC Marketplace. Experience our new menu and our historic atmosphere, custom burgers, flatbreads, craft beer, and more. How about Thursday beer night and happy hour from 2 to 6 p.m.? Join us Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Attending an event downtown Saginaw? Show us your tickets for 10% off your entire purchase. Support small, get on board, and we hope to see you inside the boardroom.
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Michigan State University has suspended 4 players for their role in roughing up U of M players in a stadium tunnel after losing a game. Spartans coach Mel Tucker announced Sunday night that linebacker Tank Brown, safety Angelo Gross, defensive end Zion Young, and cornerback Kerry Crump were suspended immediately. MSU football core values include integrity, discipline, unselfishness, toughness, and accountability, said Tucker, who made the decision after reviewing disturbing electronic evidence. Scuffles broke out in the Michigan Stadium tunnel after 4th-ranked Wolverines beat the Spartans 29-7 on Saturday night. Social media posts showed at MSU players pushing, punching, and kicking Michigan's Jaden McBurrows in and near a hallway that doesn't lead to either locker room. The 4 are seen on video getting physical with McBurrows. Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh said that he did not identify might have a broken nose. Conservation groups are calling on Lansing to fund a fix for toxic algae blooms in the Great Lakes.
The Michigan United Conservation Clubs and nonprofit group Ducks Unlimited say $30 million from the American Rescue Plan Act would go a long way to help battling algae blooms in Lake Erie that they say are causing economic damage to the state. They say a new study estimates up to $5.9 million in annual economic activity is lost in Michigan's portion of Lake Erie. The study estimates up to 29% of total fishing trips on Lake Erie were canceled in 2019 due to those harmful blooms. Anglers cited potential negative health effects, inability to consume fish, and boat or equipment damage as reason the blooms have kept them away. 2/3 say they decided not to fish at least once in that year because of the blooms. Dan Jenkins for the Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0710. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Few spotty rain showers early today, otherwise cloudy skies, a high in the upper 50s. Winds out of the east around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, a chance for some rain showers here, cloudy skies, a low near 48. Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, develop a high of 64 degrees. Then on Wednesday, mostly sunny, a high of 65. Thursday, partial sunshine develops, high of 69 degrees. Then on Friday, we'll have a chance for rain showers here late, mostly cloudy sky conditions, and a high around 68. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 49.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show. 0.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning and welcome. Welcome to another hour of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And today we're going to talk a little hockey, but the way you think, not the Saginaw spirit anyway, because we have a hockey legend with us this morning in girls hockey. She played for Novell back in the 90s, played for Harvard University after that, where she ended up being captain, and is involved today in the Mid-Michigan Alliance, which we're going to talk about this morning. We say good morning to Dr. Colleen Linehan. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. So how long has it been since you strapped on a pair of skates?
A few days.
Dr. Linehan is an orthopedist, folks. She's an orthopedic surgeon with Covenant. And I imagine in the world of hockey, you've seen a few of those skaters, haven't you?
Yes, I frequently still get them in my office. I'm never too busy to fix up some old broken hockey players.
What attracted you back in the 90s to hockey, Colleen?
Well, I started skating back in 77 when I was about 2. My parents had me on the ice very early, but they started me out in the wrong skates. They were white and had toe picks on them. So I switched to hockey when I was about 7, primarily because my older brother played. So I was at the rink all the time. And there was one other girl that I saw playing, and I just said, "Hey, Mom, I want to do that. I don't want to do figure skating. I want to play hockey." So I started when I was 7.
There weren't many girls doing hockey back then, were there?
There were not, and really across the country there were not at that time. Again, there was one other girl. She was about 2 or 3 years older than me that played at my rink, and I didn't know of any others that played at that time. It was primarily a male-oriented sport.
So you get to high school. Was there a girls hockey team already in the 90s?
There was not in Saginaw. There were no high school teams. There was one girls hockey team in the entire state. There was a U19 team out of Detroit called the Michigan Capitals. So my junior year, I discovered them and would play a few games with them after my high school season was over.
Did you play in high school, though?
I did. I played on the boys team at Novell for 4 years.
What was that like?
It was a great experience. I just wanted to play. I didn't really know about girls hockey. I had never played with them when I started. And the boys on my team, I had grown up playing with them. So it wasn't like I was trying to make some name for myself or do something new. I was just playing the sport I loved with my friends who I had played with already for 10 years.
So you knew them, so they already accepted you as a hockey player.
For the most part, I definitely had to prove myself on the ice like any freshman. But I never felt that they treated me that much different as a female, other than I got to change in the bathroom, then got upgraded to the skate room. So I missed out on a lot of the locker room antics. But once we hit the ice, again, it didn't matter to me that I was male or female. And I never felt that it mattered to my teammates either.
And then you went to Harvard for your pre-med. And they had a hockey team for women or not?
They did. Harvard has actually had a varsity women's hockey team since 1976, although it was very small in that duration. When I was applying to colleges, there were 9 Division I women's varsity hockey programs, all on the East Coast. The furthest west was Cornell at that time. 6 of the schools were Ivy League, which was a new term for me. And then 3 were non-Ivy.
And so you played with them throughout your Harvard career, so to speak, and you were named captain in 97?
Correct. Yep. I played for Harvard for 4 years and was fortunate enough to be named captain my senior year.
All right. So you graduate Harvard, and you end up in Detroit for your residency, right?
I was there for medical school with Wayne State.
Medical school with Wayne State. Okay. And no hockey when you were doing that, I assume.
I actually played some men's pickup league in the evenings when I'd have time, and started helping. I was a volunteer assistant coach at University of Michigan. They had a women's club hockey team that they were still trying to get off the ground.
So you couldn't get hockey out of your system, could you?
No, it's always been my passion. It's always helped me keep my sanity in life, especially as life gets busier. Even though hockey adds to that schedule, it's definitely still my passion.
So let's bring it up to date and talk about women's hockey today. More of it than there was when you played, right?
Absolutely.
And now there is this Mid-Michigan Alliance. So let's talk about that. Tell us about this alliance and how it came about.
Sure. So the Mid-Michigan Alliance is our new high school girls hockey program. We are one of 20 teams in the state that are in the league. The league has actually been around for 20 years, but this is the first year we've had a full-fledged varsity program in the Tri-County area. Part of the reason is my daughter plays. So my daughter Murphy is 15. She's a sophomore. She started playing with the with the boys when she was younger. And there were actually a couple girls that played at that time. And we just really noticed, again, the difference in the environment of the girls having to get dressed in their own separate area versus the boys being kind of in their home locker room. So my husband, Jack, and I started a girls hockey team back when she was 11. And as we progressed through the years, again, she's now 15. She wanted to be in a team where she could play for her school. She wanted to earn a varsity letter in hockey. She wanted to play with the girls. She wanted that locker room experience, that same traveling with your team experience that is definitely unique when you're playing on a girls team as opposed to being the girl on the team. So last year we formed the team as an affiliate program, which meant we were kind of a blend between a U19 women's team and the high school program. And then this is our first year as the cooperative being full varsity.
So in order to become full varsity, obviously the high schools have to accept you. How many high schools are involved in this league?
We have 14 high schools in our program this year, which in some ways sounds like a big number for a cooperative. But even a lot of the boys' high school teams in this area, a lot of them have 7 to 10 teams just to draw enough skaters to be able to field a team. So we have 14 schools, which means their athletic director, their superintendent have signed on, agreed to participate. The high school league is not yet recognized by the MHSAA, but we follow the exact same rules as far as the timelines. The girls have to have their grades, they have to be eligible, and they will be able to earn a varsity letter.
You expect to be recognized?
I think we're definitely getting some recognition as a new program. So in that aspect, absolutely. As far as how our team will be recognized on the ice, all the other teams are based out of Detroit and Ann Arbor, so we're definitely the outlier as far as the expansion teams go. So that'll bring a unique aspect to the league. And hopefully we'll get some recognition on the ice as well. We just like the boys, we won't start games for a couple weeks. So hopefully we'll be able to rough it up on the ice out there.
Colleen, if I lined up 25 young women to ice skate, I would bet the majority of them would pick those white skates with the toe pick. What is there about ice hockey that's now attracting young women?
The biggest trend was when it became an Olympic sport back in '98. That actually put women's hockey on TV. And it was still hard to see. The college teams just weren't televised out in the East Coast, other than some random spots. I think we got one game televised the whole season when I played at Harvard. And then '98, we brought it to Japan. We brought home a gold medal for our country, and that's what really made the transition in our country. After that, the expansion into women's hockey being NCAA that happened in 1999, so the following year. And there's been a tremendous expansion of women's college hockey. So little girls can see that now. They know that opportunity exists. They know that they can play in college. And locally, I'm seeing a lot more expansion in the younger ages. I go to the rinks and I see the 4 through 10-year-olds really expanding. A lot of the older girls feel that maybe they're too late to get into the game. But last year we had 2 girls who had really never put on skates before until maybe 6 months before the season. They'd grown up knowing hockey. Their brothers played hockey. They love the sport. And they came out for the team. And I've actually taught power skating since I was in high school. So I work with the entire team on a weekly basis on power skating skills. But these 2 girls, Emily and Allie, just really, really worked hard. They learned not only how to play hockey, but how to skate. So it's really never too late to learn how to play hockey. You just have to have the opportunity to participate.
Colleen, hang on. I want to take a break, come back and hold you for one more segment. We'll be back. We're talking to Dr. Colleen Linehan, and we are talking about women's hockey, and more on that when we return.
I'm Jacob Hilliker, Bay County Road Commissioner. I believe we deserve more local road funding for the amount of taxes we pay downstate. We all know working people in Bay County have always had to shout a little louder to be heard in Lansing. That's why I'm here. Business owner, and I operate a small farm. I don't have time for the national partisan nonsense of the week. I'm here to do a job. Vote Hilliker. Paid for by Jacob Hilliker for Bay County.
It's a new day because COVID vaccines just got a big update. So all the big stuff coming up this fall, well, now you can say, you bet I'll be there. Because updated COVID vaccines protect against both the original COVID virus and Omicron. And everyone 5 and older can get one. So this is a moment we've all been waiting for.
Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Doesn't your family deserve the best? Eggland's Best Eggs. Classic, cage-free, and organic give you and your family more. More delicious, farm-fresh taste, plus superior nutrition. Compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best provides 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat. These are no ordinary times, so why choose an ordinary egg? Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
What's your least favorite season? Now, if you're like me, it's cold and flu season. So get relief from it this year with Mucinex DM. With cough and chest congestion relief for 12 hours in just 1 dose. That's 3 times longer than 4-hour products. Mucinex season, comeback season, even cold and flu season. Get 3 times the relief in just 1 dose with Mucinex DM. It couldn't be simpler. Nothing lasts longer among over-the-counter cough and cold remedies. Mucinex DM provides 12 hours of relief for chest congestion and cough, day or night. Use as directed.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The Dow Jones Industrials could wrap up the month with a record October, though stocks opened lower. Investors are moving cautiously today. The Federal Reserve's meeting is tomorrow and Wednesday. Avis Budget and Stryker, the medical products company, report third quarter closed today. New COVID lockdowns in China could be impacting Apple and Disney. Reuters says a COVID outbreak at Apple's Foxconn supplier could result in a production decline of as much as 30% for November. It's the world's biggest iPhone assembly site, though Foxconn says it's shifting production to other locations. And Shanghai's Disney Park because of a COVID outbreak there. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Kosola, invested in you.
Hi, I'm Lisa Booth for Bishop Gold Group. Are you worried about your financial future as retirement gets closer? All over the country, soon-to-be retirees are fearing for their financial future as markets remain volatile. Bishop Gold Group helps you invest in gold and gold IRAs to protect your wealth and retirement during times of high inflation and wild swings in the market. Contact Bishop Gold Group by dialing pound 250 from a mobile phone and say the keyword Bishop Gold or visit bishopgoldgroup.com.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as heart disease,
Asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older, 52,
36.
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting back. 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, 855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
About getting vaccinated.
with Prevnar 20.
Check out the WSGW Sports broadcast page on WSGW.com. Want to know when and which WSGW station you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SVSU football? Click on the sports broadcast box on WSGW.com.
And we're back with you, talking to Dr. Colleen Linehan about girls hockey and the new Mid-Michigan Alliance, an association of teams that hope someday to be fully recognized and fully integrated into the high school sports programs. You see that coming?
I do. There have been some barriers, even as at the collegiate level. It's the number of teams, the number of high schools participating. One awesome thing about our expansion team is it does include 14 schools, and part of the reason our co-op is so large is we actually hope to break that up into separate teams in the future whenever we can build the numbers as younger players are coming up. Currently, our furthest reach, we do have a high school in Hazlitt, so over by Lansing. We have 2 skaters coming from there. And then we are co-opted with one of the Flint schools at Flint Powers. So hopefully as the interest develops in those 2 areas, we can help grow the league as well. And part of it is education. You know, a lot of the athletic directors were not aware of the league. It's the MGHSHL, the Michigan Girls High School Hockey League. So just getting information out there, letting people know that it exists, and then we can get the athletic directors to hopefully support us at the annual MHSAA meetings.
So, Colleen, just so we understand, I mean, there are 14 schools involved, but they don't all have teams. Is that right? They acting as
so our one team is comprised of 14 schools. So similar to a lot of the boys' high school teams in the area. Larger schools like Heritage are able to fold a single school team. But my daughter's high school for Valley Lutheran, they're in a cooperative called FNV. The Swan Valley, the Tri-Valley Titans are comprised of multiple schools also.
How long is it going to take you to interest enough girls to play hockey to have teams at all these schools?
At all the schools, I'm not sure if that will logistically happen, if the boys have not been able to do that. But hopefully my goal is that we can take our 14 school cooperative and at some point make that one team become 3 and grow from there as girls grow up and the numbers grow. One barrier I've always seen to the growth of women's hockey in the state of Michigan is we still do not have a Division I NCAA women's hockey program, which is mind-blowing because since we have, I think, 10 men's NCAA teams, but every women's program is the club level with the exception of 2 Division III programs. So I'm also hoping that as we see the wave at the high school level, that schools like University of Michigan and Michigan State, who have had club teams for greater than 25 years, will also increase the participation at that level. When Ohio and Wisconsin and Minnesota and New York, all our surrounding states have Division I programs, it's very frustrating that Michigan still hasn't been able to field a varsity NCAA team.
Yeah, particularly with Title IX. you would have thought they would try and move to that.
Yes, the Title IX has come to the public venue in multiple areas currently, especially with any elections coming up. You hear that term thrown around. But Title IX has been around for over 40 years, and it was used appropriately, I think, to grow women's sports in multiple other states. I know at one point when the University of Michigan was thinking about adding a women's program, instead to keep the numbers equal, they dropped a men's program, which is not the intent of Title IX at all. It's not to get rid of programs. It's to provide equal participation. So logistically, I have no clue why the other states and the other Big Ten schools have been able to field teams, and we have not.
Are there teams that still welcome women into the men's world, so to speak?
Not at higher levels, no. And for as far as the NHL, NCAA, Division I, it's they're full contact checking leagues, which again I played at in the high school level when I played for Nouvelle. We're full checking, but I always used to think, oh, I can be as fast as the boys, I can be as strong as the boys, but being a physician now, I don't have that Y chromosome. I don't have that testosterone. So there have been some goalies that have been able to go up to higher levels. But it's just, girls need their own leagues. So once you get to a high enough level, it's hard enough for the elite men to make those teams, and to take the elite women. We did have Kendall Coyne. She's one of our USA Olympian gold medal winners. She participated in the NHL skills competition and just knocked it out of the park in her speed skating. I mean, just watching the men's jaws just drop when they saw her just kill it out there. So it's not that the women don't have phenomenal skills, just they need a league of their own.
I kind of agree. I'm involved with the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club, and the Ontario Hockey League, of course, is an all-male league and a feeder league to the NHL.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what the reaction would be if women were brought on board.
The Spirit had another amazing win last night. They're having a phenomenal season. The Saginaw Spirit has been a great supporter of our organization as well. So a big shout out to the Spirit. It's just a different environment. Hockey is a special sport. You form this bond when you're in the locker room. You form this bond when you're on bus rides, and that locker room environment is very unique. In high school, I lettered in 4 varsity sports, and at basketball, we'd go in the locker room for 5 minutes before we'd go out on the court, and we'd maybe take off our warm up or something, but you weren't sitting in there a half hour before practice, lacing up your skates, putting on all that equipment. And you have 20 skaters on the team also, so there's just not another sport that replicates that. And that was one thing I missed growing up in high school, is I really wasn't part of that locker room environment. In some ways, I was okay with that. I didn't want to be with the boys in the locker room. That was their special place. But watching the OHL play, Manon Rioum did take the ice and net with the QMJHL many years ago, and she's went on to become a phenomenal success story for women's hockey. But it's just it's not the right place. The women need to continue to develop their programs. We need to get young girls involved. We need to grow numbers. When the girls are younger, I think it's fine to have the mixed sports if that's what they have. But I struggle with talking to parents even as their daughters get to ages 11 and 12. And the parents wanting the kids to go in the locker room with the boys and change there. And I'm like, you just don't get it. They need their own environment. And unfortunately, some of them still don't have a high enough level where they can play with women and have that full experience. So that's what we're really looking to grow.
Colleen, is there a website where people can get more information?
Absolutely. One of our, our team is the Mid-Michigan Alliance. We're the Valkyrie. We put most of our information on Facebook, so it's at MMA Hockey. You can also, on Facebook, you can also go to the Saginaw Bay Ice Arena website, and our full schedule is there. We start tryouts tomorrow. So if there are any girls in the area that are interested in coming out to tryouts, we will be on the ice tomorrow, 7 o'clock at the Dow Event Center. You do have to be on one of our cooperative schools. But another interesting thing that happened last year when we formed our team is we had 3 or 4 girls that had played when they were younger, and then they quit. When that locker room situation became not something that was fun for them, or when the boys started checking and they just lost interest. They didn't have the support in that community. So we were literally calling up the local rinks asking for rosters of any females that had played hockey in the last 10 years. And yeah, Kenny Christensen and Amelia came out. They hadn't been on the ice in forever. They came back, and they really were able to contribute a lot to our team last year. So maybe there'll be some more girls that will come out of the woodwork tomorrow.
Well, we wish you well with it, Colleen. And we thank you for spending time with us this morning. I'm sure there's a bone or two that needs your attention today, so we'll let you go. But we'll chat with you again down the road, see how well you're doing with it.
I would love that. Thanks again for having me, and hopefully we'll have a nice competitive season this year.
All right. Good luck with it. Thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Dr. Colleen Linehan, and she is an orthopedic surgeon with Covenant, but also an active participant in girls hockey, where she played for many years. We thank her very much for joining us this morning. Open phones for the remainder of the hour.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Kokomo's. You are going to get a family fun package. The package includes a game card with $62.50 in credits, 2 12-inch single topping pizzas, and 2 pops, plus 5 attractions. If you're looking for something fun to do with the family, Kokomo's is your one-stop shop. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, here's my card. Just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed-rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 6.99% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject credit. 9% APR to 21.49% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
We tried Dynovite. After a couple of weeks, we noticed a big difference. Our little Gizmo's coat was shinier, and there was a lot less scratching and shedding.
My dog smelled and scratched constantly. We bathed and sprayed her, took her to the vet, but no results. Now, a little Dynovite in her food helps Bella keep her beautiful coat with no scratching or smell.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dynovite.
Hey, it's Dana Cortez, and I'm married to DJ Automatic. When it comes to big life decisions, having options is something I value for our family, especially when it comes to saving money. That's why I love State Farm.
State Farm knows everyone has a budget, and they've got options like insuring your car and your home, getting you great rates on both.
with options so that you can get a surprisingly great rate.
I love that option. Saving money, that's what it's all about. So we bundle our home and our car. So for surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one. Approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
You can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the mitten.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are the premier kitchen and bath gallery, showroom, and design center in Midland.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Open phones for the remainder of the hour. If you can get in, 989-752-6111. You've heard me say in the past, I recommend ahead of the election to download your ballot from the Secretary of State. And what you do is you go to mi.gov/SOS. That will come up on the Secretary of State's site. Click on the vote button, and then on the left side, look for what's on your ballot. Click on that. It'll ask you where you live, your voting precinct, and you will end up with a copy of your specific ballot, no one else's. It's your precinct's ballot. And then you will discover things. For example, how many people are running for governor and lieutenant governor? Well, if you say just 2 plus the lieutenant governors, you'd be incorrect. There are actually 6 pairs of candidates running for governor in the state of Michigan. They are, of course, the current governor, Gretchen Whitmer, and Garland Gilchrist II. He is the lieutenant governor on the Democratic ticket. Tudor M. Dixon and Shane Hernandez on the Republican ticket. You all know them. You see their commercials incessantly all the time. But did you know Mary Bazuma and Brian Ellison are running as libertarians? Did you know that Donna Brandenburg and Melissa Carone are running from the U.S. Taxpayers Party? Did you know that Kevin Hogan and Destiny Clayton are from the Green Party? And Darrell M. Simpson and Doug Dern are from the Natural Law Party. 6 pairs of candidates, 4 pair of which you probably never hear of. They don't have the wherewithal. They don't spend the money for advertising. And so you don't hear of them. For Secretary of State, there, of course, is Jocelyn Benson, the current Secretary of State, the Democrat. Christina Elaine Caramo, she's the Republican. Gregory Scott Stempfli is the Libertarian. Christine C. Schwartz is the U.S. Taxpayers Party. Larry James Hutchinson Jr. is the Green Party. 4 candidates for Attorney General: Dana Nessel, the Democrat; Matthew DePerno, the Republican; Joseph McHugh, the Libertarian; Gerald T. Van Sickle, the U.S. Taxpayers. And the one that interested me, the 8th District, Congressman Kilday's district. He's running against Paul Young. You've all heard those spots. There's the Libertarian, David Canny, and there is someone from a party I never heard of before. Kathy Goodwin is running from the Working Class Party. Never heard of it. Quick break, come back. We'll get to Mark and Sanford when we return on the Art Lewis Show.
Now at Menards, save big money with 11% off everything. Illuminate your home's exterior with Patriot Lighting outdoor lights. Install with ease and feel safe when someone approaches your home with motion-activated security lighting. Choose from a wide selection to brighten up your home in style with unique designs. Now get 11% off all Patriot Lighting at Menards. Good to November 6th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com for the hottest gift.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Rob tried to manage his constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating day after day. After realizing it was irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, he found another way and finally said yes to adding Linzess.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
WSGW.
Your source for local news and information in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. To the phones, Mark is in Sanford. Mark, good morning.
Hi, Art.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, I was calling about Proposal 1, which deals with term limits and financial disclosure for politicians.
Right.
And my issue with the financial disclosure, when you read through there, they exempt political, social, and religious organizations from having to be reported. If you wanted to influence a politician financially, wouldn't that be one of the places where you would go through? Funnel of money.
Yeah, but you have to remember the Supreme Court ruled years ago those PACs are freedom of speech.
Okay.
And
I didn't realize. I
yeah.
didn't realize that. I just thought that was a pretty big hole to leave in up.
Yeah,
in an
yeah, it's
amendment.
and it's exactly, you're exactly right, because it exempts religious, social, and political organizations. Political organizations, I can almost assure you that the courts would probably knock that down anyway, because political organizations, you almost, they're almost hands off in some ways. But yeah, the Supreme
Right.
Court ruled a number of years ago about political action committees from all kinds of organizations, that those dollars were free speech and expression of free speech, free political speech in particular. So
Okay.
that's why they're not there. So
Okay.
a number, you bring up an interesting point though, because I'm not sure how many people really take the time to read these proposals and the language enabling them. If you go to the Secretary of State's site, you can find these proposals, and then you can find several pages of the enabling language, which is pretty eye-opening in some cases. So
It is.
it's an interesting point. All right. Good enough, Mark. Thanks.
Art.
I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too. Thanks for the call. Let me ask how you slept last night. Today, we're asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed and you spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, and it's done to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time at bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature a 1-hour delivery window of your mattress to your home. Now, if you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you. Box stores can't do that. Visit the Sanitary Mattress factory and showroom serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757. Sanitary Mattress. Yeah, going back to the proposals, when you download your ballot, you will not only see the state proposals. The proposal we just talked about, Proposal 1, is the public financial disclosure and the adjustment to term limits to 12 years on both sides. Then there's Proposal 2, to amend the Constitution to add provisions regarding elections. And finally, the most notable one that's gotten the most attention is the proposal dealing with abortions. But depending where you live, you will also find some local ballots. For example, in Saginaw County, there is the Saginaw County proposal for Saginaw County Mosquito Abatement Commission renewal and increase. And there is also the Intermediate School District proposal for a special education millage proposal. The mosquito abatement would be new to this election, to renewal and increase. The school district, the Intermediate School District, is a replay from the spring when they were defeated narrowly. They are back on the ballot now. So no matter where you live, you are going to find, if you go to mi.gov/SOS and click on vote and click on what's on the ballot, after you fill out the information on where you vote, you will get a ballot specifically for your precinct. You may discover, for example, there are local issues you didn't know about, or there are county issues you didn't know about because they don't get the publicity. So it really is beneficial. Download your ballot. Look at all the candidates. I mean, let's face it. We all go into that polling place. How many of us know who the candidates are for the State Board of Education, the University of Michigan, trustee of Michigan State, governor of Wayne State University? You got to vote on those. Now, a lot of people don't. Or they vote their party line because they're identified by party. Those are party candidates. 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, 2 Libertarians, a U.S. taxpayer, and a working class for the member of the State Board of Education. University of Michigan, 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, a Libertarian, a U.S. taxpayers, a green, and a natural law. Same thing for Michigan State, although not quite as many. So you really learn a lot. You also find out there are local elections for example, Delta College. Maybe your library board has an election. Maybe your local school district has an election. And of course, there are the nonpartisan judges races. So do yourself a favor and download your ballot and become an informed voter. It is the best way. It will also speed up the process when you go to the polling place because you will already know how you're going to vote. Just a hint. All right. We'll take our last break. We'll be back to close out the Art Lewis Show for today.
If you're in a room with 4 other people, chances are one of you has already been an identity theft victim. 1 in 5. Watching isn't enough. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, LifeLock will work to fix it. Nobody can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% on their first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. Promo code BECK, save 25% off your first year.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The Morning Team on WSGW.
Pat and I both coming across the story regarding Michigan's state bird, the robin, the state bird for nearly a century. But apparently, a bipartisan group of legislators is looking to change Michigan's robin as the state bird to the Kirtland warbler.
To the what?
The Kirtland warbler, the bird that was so well known for getting close to extinction, but making a huge comeback to the point where it's not even on the extinction list anymore. The robin lobby is not referenced.
I'm looking at the picture of the Kirtland warbler,
That's
right?
exactly right, yes.
Have I seen this bird around?
It's more into the northern areas of the state.
Well, I'm sorry. Until fine, but until I see the Kirtland warbler down here.
Because you've seen robins all over the place.
I see robins all the time.
Okay.
Is that how we know when it's springtime around here?
Robin is the first sign of spring?
Yes. Sorry, I'm just not on board the warbler.
Robin's so much easier to say. That's what you're saying.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
All right, that does it for the Art Lewis Show for this Monday. Thank you for being with us. We thank Dr. Colleen Linehan for joining us this morning, talking about girls hockey. Coming up on Focus, we're going to talk about Medicare with Mindy McIntosh from McIntosh and Associates. That's what's ahead this morning after the news. We'll be back and talk to you then.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by General Steel.
I'm Steve Kathan. The future on campus could be at stake as the U.S. Supreme Court hears arguments and challenges to policies at 2 universities. Patrick Strawbridge represents the student group that sued.
Considering race and race alone is not consistent with the Constitution. It's also not consistent with other holistic approaches that this court takes. There's great freedom, for example, to strike a juror, but one thing you can't strike a juror for, in part, is their race.
Attorney Damon Hewitt speaking for the University of North Carolina.
When you think about a world without affirmative action, think about what our workplaces will look like, what our schools would look like. America is stronger when we actually fully embrace our diversity.
Formal charges, including attempted Against the suspect accused of attacking House Speaker Pelosi's husband, Paul. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti.
He was specifically targeting Nancy Pelosi when he broke into that home early Friday morning. We're told he even made his way to the second story of that home. And the Associated Press now reporting that investigators also found a bag at the scene containing zip ties.
Election day is a week from tomorrow. CBS's Robert Costa in Newtown, Pennsylvania, says that state's Senate battle is one to watch.
So many voters here going to office parks this morning, coffee shops. They're talking about the economy. They're talking about issues like crime, and they're also talking about abortion rights. This is an area where you have suburban Republicans who have long supported some Republicans in office who are supportive of abortion rights. So it's a bit of a more moderate Republican area.
Russia has battered several cities in Ukraine. CBS's Holly Williams has the latest.
Ukraine says Russia fired a barrage of more than 50 cruise missiles, claiming it managed to shoot down most but not all of them, with parts of the country experiencing blackouts. Here in Kyiv, officials say 350,000 homes were left without power. Ukraine's foreign minister said, quote, instead of fighting on the battlefield, Russia fights civilians.
Well, back here at home, some big money is at stake tonight.
Despite near impossible odds of winning, 1 in 292 million, people are lining up to buy tickets for tonight's Powerball lottery. What would these people do if they win the $1 billion prize?
Get excited because it's going to answer a lot of problems they got. Let's put it that way. I'll go crazy and do something extremely stupid. Go to Vegas.
It's the 5th biggest lottery jackpot in U.S. history. Jim Crisula, CBS News, Kernersville, North Carolina.
Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 106 points. NASDAQ down 136. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner, you can save a ton of money on a custom-designed building made by General Steel. Just call 888-74-STEEL and get a quote today.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands with RoofMax, the world's first roof rejuvenation treatment. RoofMax is a safe, easy, and affordable alternative to costly asphalt roof replacement, and it's guaranteed. So don't replace RoofMax.
RoofMax, a safe, easy, proven, affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Call Ben today at 859-6751 or go to GetRoofMax.
Oh, wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458, 800-481-1458, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 51 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. Couple of road closures in Saginaw today. South Jefferson Avenue and South Bond Street are closed between Federal and Janes Avenue. Contract crews will be repairing a roof, working in the right-of-way of both streets, requiring the closure until 5 p.m. During this time, north and southbound lanes are closed on South Jefferson and South Baum. Residents are urged to bypass that portion of both streets and find an alternate route. And the city of Saginaw is asking drivers to please be patient while the work is in progress. Police in Bridgeport Township responded to a report of a shooting this morning around 12:20 in the 2800 block of Williamson at the Bavarian Village Apartments. They discovered a 7-year-old boy had suffered what is possibly an accidental self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head with an unsecured firearm. The boy was first taken to Covenant Healthcare in Saginaw, then transported to the University of Michigan, where he is listed in critical condition. Bridgeport police were assisted by state police, the Saginaw County Sheriff's Department, the Birch Run and Buena Vista Police Departments, and the Michigan State Police Crime Lab. Beautification efforts of Midland property owners will be recognized at an awards ceremony on November 3rd. The annual Appreciation of Beautification Awards ceremony will be at 7 p.m. in the Midland City Council chambers. 10 residential properties and 1 non-residential property will receive the awards. According to the city, the Appreciation of Beautification Awards recognize individuals, groups, and organizations which have made improvements that are aesthetically pleasing and have a positive impact on the Midland community and its neighborhoods. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Is there anything better than just sitting outdoors enjoying nature? Well, I mean, I guess this chair could be a recliner. That'd be better. But there definitely wouldn't be anything better than that. Unless, of course, the recliner had one of those fancy built-in massagey things. Oh.
There's always a better way to do things. With triple stacked Enlist E3 varieties for proven performance, Zetavo soybean seed is seed done right. Zetavo from MS Technologies is distributed exclusively by BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Kokomos. You are going to get a family fun package. The package includes a game card with $62.50 in credits, 2 12-inch single topping pizzas, and 2 pops, plus 5 attractions. If you're looking for something fun to do with the family, Kokomos is your one-stop shop. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
SGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. A northern Michigan woman is behind bars after police say she destroyed her boyfriend's car during a breakup. State police say they were called to the scene in Walker Township, about 50 miles south of Mackinac City, in June for a report of a damaged vehicle. The boyfriend claims his 21-year-old girlfriend, Jasmine Dillon, were sitting inside his car, and he said he wanted to end the relationship. He says that the woman crawled into the back seat and started kicking the sunroof, eventually getting out of the car. He locked the doors. She tried climbing back in via the driver's window, according to police, and when she couldn't, started punching the glass, then fled the scene. Dillon was arrested October 18th and arraigned on a malicious destruction of property. She's being held on a $5,000 bond. We'll learn later this morning if a former Grand Rapids police officer will stand trial for shooting a driver to death after a struggle. A Grand Rapids District Court judge will announce his decision about Officer Christopher Schur just after 10. He's charged with second-degree murder in the April death of Patrick Leoya. Schur's attorney, Matthew Borgula, agreed during the preliminary hearing last week the shooting was justified.
The methods he used through this perfectly in line with his training. Well, maybe not perfectly because that wasn't the standard, but they were in line with his training. The training officer told you that.
The Kent County prosecutor says a jury should be the one to decide the case. Gas prices across Michigan continue to decline as a new work week begins. According to AAA, drivers are paying an average of $3.96 per gallon statewide, a drop of 9 cents from last week. The most expensive areas to buy gas in Michigan are Jackson, Marquette, and Lansing, and the cheapest are in Traverse City, Flint, and Metro Detroit. I'm 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Few spotty rain showers early today, otherwise cloudy skies, a high in the upper 50s. Winds out of the east around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, a chance for some rain showers here, cloudy skies, a low near 48. Tuesday, mostly sunny skies develop, a high of 64 degrees. And on Wednesday, mostly sunny, a high of 65. Thursday, partial sunshine develops, high of 69 degrees. And on Friday, we'll have a chance for rain showers here. Sky conditions and a high around 68. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 52.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio online, WSGW.com.
Good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW. Focus is brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, easy, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com. Or call Ben, and by the way, that's getroofmax.com. Or call Ben at 989-859-6751. And remember that RoofMax is with 2 X's. We're going to talk a little Social Security and Medicare this morning. And we're going to do that with Mindy McIntosh from McIntosh and Associates. And we say good morning to Mindy.
Good morning, Art. How are you this morning?
We're doing well, thanks. I think before we get started on the main topic, maybe a little overview of McIntosh and Associates so everybody knows where you are and who you are.
Absolutely. We are a local firm helping folks navigate through their holistic planning, meaning whether it's healthcare, Medicare for income, security timing, investment planning, or just looking at ways to retire and help during this Medicare maze during open enrollment here. We're located locally in Freeland, Michigan. So we're here pretty local to help folks come on in for an office visit and walk through what we call their Dream Focused Retirement Plan.
All right. Now let's I have to ask this question, but we often hear this open enrollment period. Yet we've been inundated all year long with advertising about Medicare. What's different from the open enrollment from all those ads we heard year round?
Sure thing. Yes. The open enrollment, generally speaking, is a timeline here for December 7th. So anyone who is either aging into Medicare, has a current Medicare plan, whether it's, supplemental, Part D prescription, or an Advantage plan, has the opportunity to make their plan switch and review for a new effective plan or updated, maybe even formularies as of January 1st the following year. Now, what we've seen all year long is there was some special enrollments this year, right? So whether it was items during the pandemic or prior due to the flood, there was special circumstances to where folks could actually make a plan change. And then the other items that they call all year round that we're hearing from all of our client families is that folks can enroll in what's and year round. So that's kind of a newer feature over the past few years, but it's very limited to what options they actually have if they choose that. So those would be the, major differentials from just the entire availability from year to year.
We're also inundated with advertising that tells us on television, oh, you can get money back in your Social Security. You can do all of these wonderful, wonderful things. It's not so for everybody, is it?
Correct. So not for everyone. And, they talk a lot about plans being available in your zip code and by your county and your area. And some of the funds coming back to Social Security rebate to Medicare Part B. Not all insurance carriers offer that. So there's a select few in each area that do. And some of the circumstances are depending on your income. Others depend on your network of facilities and physicians. So not that it's not an option to folks, but it does become more limited than what it may sound.
They make it sound like everybody in the world's going to get this.
They sure do, which keeps our phones ringing.
Hey. Yeah, I'll bet it does. All right, so let us talk about the differences in, for example, we hear terms Medicare supplements, Medigaps. They're the same thing, aren't they?
They sure are, yeah. So some people call it a Medigap just because it's truly, generally speaking, filling in that, 20% gap that Medicare Part B is not covering. So they call it a Medigap to fill those in. But Medicare Supplement or Medigap is the same terminology. And that's really where folks are hearing, hey, I could have Plan G, Plan N, Plan F, all this alphabet soup as we all kind of go back to school.
Can't have Plan F unless you already have it.
Right. Or by your certain age, right? So if you were born before a certain year, you have the opportunity to have Plan F, where newer folks aging into Medicare can no longer have that. So they're, if they're taking a supplement or a gap, they're moving on to what they feel is the next best thing, which would be a Plan G now.
Yes, we thank the government for the alphabet soup of plans.
We sure do.
It takes someone like you to straighten it out for us because we don't know.
And it's nice to be pictorial, right? So I think a lot of our client families that we're servicing, they're it's a viewpoint. So that way, if we can do a visual aid that help kind of walk through the differences in Medigap or Medicare supplement, what those plans look like, how those alphabet soups fit into your original Medicare plan, and Part D and prescription plan opportunities for you, and how do those formularies and drug prices actually change from year to year? And then what might be the opportunity zone for you, or why might someone want to go into a Plan C, which is more of a Medicare Advantage platform to kind of bundle, all of the benefits together in one that you hear most of the advertising on.
And we will talk about that when we return. We're talking to Mindy McIntosh from McIntosh and Associates, and we will be back to do more of it with Mindy right after these notes.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands. First roof rejuvenation treatment. RoofMax is a safe, easy, and affordable alternative to costly asphalt roof replacement, and it's guaranteed. So don't replace RoofMax.
RoofMax, a safe, easy, proven, affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Call Ben today at 859-6751 or go to GetRoofMax.com for a free quote.
Bernstein and Bolden on the bottom of the ballot. Bernstein and Bolden on the bottom of the ballot.
What are you doing?
I'm getting ready to vote for the Michigan Supreme Court and need to the Constitution, protect our rights and freedoms, and are fair and impartial.
Bernstein and Bolden?
Right. And because the race for the Michigan Supreme Court is found in the nonpartisan section of the ballot, near the bottom or the back, depending on where you live, you have to look for it.
Got it. So why Bernstein and Bolden?
Bernstein and Bolden will stand up against corruption in Michigan, believe in equal justice under the law, and want to protect the right to vote and ensure our votes are counted fairly.
What if I just vote straight ticket? Does that work?
Against Supreme Court races are nonpartisan. You still have to find Bernstein and Bolden on the bottom of the ballot.
And I can vote for both Bernstein and Bolden?
That's right. You get to vote for two.
Now you got me saying it. Bernstein and Bolden on the bottom of the ballot.
Bernstein and Bolden on the bottom of the ballot. Paid for with regulated funds by Justice for All, not authorized by any candidate or candidate committee.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's ACY.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore America's last frontier, Alaska, from August 30th to September 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for the start of a 12-day land and sea adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you'll ride a luxury dome and stay at the Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the Inside Passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. For a brochure, send your address to me and I will forward the brochure to you. Send to artlewis@wsgw.com. That's ARTLEWIS at WSGW.com. Alaska is calling.
Thank you for 0.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
And indeed, in that premier kitchen and bath gallery studio is Mindy McIntosh this morning as I broadcast from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. So, Mindy, we haven't really touched too much on the Advantage plans. We talked about Medigap and the supplements. Explain the difference between Advantage plans and supplement plans.
Sure. So a supplemental plan, think of that as your medical like. So it's going to supplement, fill in some gaps to original Medicare that we could go into great detail about. Your hospitalization or outpatient coverage is what a Medicare supplemental plan does, where a Medicare Advantage plan bundles everything together. Because unlike the supplement that you need to then, create and purchase a separate prescription card, and if you want dental or vision or hearing, the Advantage plan bundles it all together, more of a pay-as-you-go and more of a group-like feel. So your medical copay plan is built into the Advantage plan that's offered from a variety of insurance carriers, along with your prescription Part D plans, that they also have your dental benefits built in. Maybe it's a Delta dental package and you have your vision coverage there and some hearing benefits. And now some of the flex cards are over the counter to buy your multivitamins and other ancillary items. And so they bundle it all together. And then just depending on the portability that you need, the flexibility, how much dontering you're using, really helps us to route is going to be best for you for the upcoming year, and then review that annually in our office as we visit with folks on what's available in their area.
And do all of these plans require deductibles?
They do not. Great question. So some of the plans have deductibles, some do not. Most that we are utilizing on the Advantage footprint do not have any deductibles at all, just a copay for some of your services rendered. So maybe no cost for your primary care physician, but a small copay to see a specialist or a copay for an MRI, that type of thing.
And you can't couple that with a supplement plan. Is that right? It's one or the other?
That is correct. It's one or the other. So it's either a bundled Advantage plan that can include your medical and your Part D, as well as other ancillary benefits, or the supplemental coverage, which then indeed you'd want to purchase a separate, what they call standalone Part D prescription card to avoid any fees and to make sure you have coverage.
So I was brought up in a world that told me there's no such thing as a free lunch. How is it these plans are $0?
So I think some of the $0 plans, nothing in life is free. I've also learned that growing up at a family farm. It's like, yeah, that's paid somewhere. Yeah. So these Medicare Advantage plans are funded a lot through the Medicare Trust Fund. So some of it is, tax dollars funding that. But with the premium cost being zero, think of it this way. If you have a Medicare supplemental plan paying, let's say, $200 a month, that instills you that over time, yes, your rates may go up, but you have very little to no out of pocket, maybe a couple $100 copay medically out of pocket. Versus the Advantage plan, if you pay nothing monthly, then you know that if you go in for a hospital overnight stay or a surgery or a hospital observation or maybe a CT scan or physical therapy, you are going to have copays for each of those items that you do and each time that you visit. So it's not a free lunch. It might not be a premium that you're paying on I know so monthly, but you for sure, when things come up, whether they're expected or unexpected, you will have out-of-pocket costs for that. It's for sure not $0 all year long.
And that's the trick. We have to remember, this is insurance. You're really betting against yourself, aren't you?
You are, yes. And it's kind of the teeter-totter. So we decide, hey, what's your track record been for the past, depending on how long the family's been a client of ours. But, maybe they've been with us for 20 years and then we know their track record, or maybe they're just coming in the office for the first time to look at some, hey, what's kind of pros and cons? And we go through a little bit about, all right, let's look at past history, but also that doesn't always proclaim what's going to happen tomorrow. So we have to take a look at that both, and how can they, what's affordability standpoint for them, and, how would they stand up financially with their medical expenses for them.
And you can hear Mindy, by the way, on the weekends here on WSGW. Tell them when.
You can hear us at 12 o'clock noon on Sundays on WSGW on our radio show, Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. And we talk about sometimes Medicare, tax planning, the inflation we're going through right now, investment planning, when are you looking to retire, and kind of creating some guaranteed income streams.
And how about the roller coaster stock market that we've been on lately? Oh, my goodness gracious.
It's surely been up and down for a while now, hasn't it?
No.
So, it's definitely been a ride that I don't see is over yet, for sure. And so I think it's so important to make sure that folks are working with a professional. We don't want anybody just riding the roller coaster. Those bumps need to be smoothed out, and there's definitely ways to do so. Alternative investment opportunities with some protection, and just making sure that you're not all in, right?
What is your website?
They can visit our website at wealthmichigan.com. On there, you can even schedule a visit with us. You can meet the team. You can see some of our informational options on there, along with, upcoming meet and greets or upcoming events that we have for educational purposes as well.
And you mentioned you're in Freeland. What's your address?
We are at 122 South Main Street in Freeland. You could stop by the office there or even call us either locally at 989-692-2200, or they can reach us at 877-222-8849 to schedule this visit during this open enrollment season for Medicare.
All right, perfect. Well, let's talk again, Mindy. I loved it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Do you?
Bye-bye now. Mindy McIntosh from McIntosh and Associates. We appreciate her time this morning. We'll be back to find out what's happening in the markets from Baird & Company when we return.
Do you have Medicare questions? Confused by all those available to you now through December 7th that you didn't have before? At Medicare Choices of Saginaw, they can put together a program unique to you, even a no